15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back on the Success Blueprint. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. This is Daniel, your host for another 15-Minute Monday, and I'm getting right into it so that we don't waste too much time. Today, we want to talk about the self-upgrade trap, when growth turns into self-pressure, because growth is good, goals is good, and it is important that we know where we're going and why we're going there, but sometimes it can also become too much. We can get too obsessed about it. So today I want to share a way with you how to do that more meaningful and balancing it in a way so that you can enjoy the journey. Growth used to be a good thing. Now, in many lives, it's starting to look like a socially acceptable form of self-hate, because somewhere along the line, improve yourself quietly became you're behind. And for a lot of people, self-development isn't producing peace, it's producing pressure. I see that on a regular basis. You can feel it in the way people talk. I'm trying to fix myself. I need to become better before I'm ready. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm falling behind everyone else. And that's not growth, tribe. I call that self-rejection with a productivity badge. So this episode matters because the self-upgrade trap doesn't look destructive at first. It looks ambitious. It looks motivated. It looks like you are doing the work, but underneath it often creates chronic stress, emotional fatigue, and a constant sense that you're never enough. And I'm sure that resonates strongly with not only you, but with all of us. Today, we're going to expose the trap, show you how optimization culture messes with your nervous system and identity, and give you a healthier model of growth, grounded, strategic, and human. So what's the problem here? The modern self-improvement world has two silent assumptions. You are broken, you must earn your worth through performance. So even when you do well, the goalposts constantly move, and I know that you can resonate with that. I know you feel that in your life. Even when you improve, the bar rises. Even when you achieve, you don't arrive. This is why so many high performers feel restless. Their growth is driven by fear, not purpose. They don't upgrade from a place of self-respect. They upgrade from a place of internal accusation. Optimization culture turns life into an endless checklist. Habits to track, routines to perfect, metrics to hit, flaws to correct. And when you live like that, growth stops being a tool, it becomes a prison. And what's the cost here? What is the currency that we're bleeding? Well, tribe, it steals joy because every moment is measured against what you should be doing. It creates chronic stress because your nervous system never gets the signal, I'm safe. It breeds quiet self-rejection because you start relating to yourself as a project instead of a person. And it destroys sustainability. You can't keep improving forever from a place of pressure. Eventually, you either burn out, numb out, or you start rebelling. And the most cruel part, tribe, people in the self-upgrade trap often look impressive from the outside, high achievers, disciplined, motivated, but inside they're exhausted and harsh with themselves. And I see that in the coaching sessions because when I tell them you don't have to be perfect, it's almost like a big weight falls off their shoulders. It's this sigh of relief because we built this pressure cooker for ourselves. And that's not transformation, that's performance under threat. But fear you not, I will have a 5-step toolkit for you, a healthier model of growth. Grounded, strategic, and as per usual, immediately usable. Step number 1, identify the voice behind your growth. The same action can come from two completely different places. One voice says, let's improve because it matters to me. The other one says, improve because you're not good enough. And the action that you take against this, pick one goal you're currently pursuing, write down the sentence in your head that drives it, and then label it. Is this self-respect or self-pressure? If the driving voice is shaming, the goal will never feel satisfying, even if you hit it. Step number 2, replace more with better. Optimization culture trains you to add more habits, more routines, more goals. But real growth often comes from subtraction. The action that you take here, identify one area where you're trying to do too much, Too many habits, too many non-negotiables, too many goals at once. Then reduce your growth plan to one focus and one supporting habit for 30 days. Better is sustainable. More is often a stress addiction. Step number 3, set a good enough baseline and actually mean it, tribe. This step is uncomfortable for perfectionists. The action that you have to take here, define what good enough looks like for the week. Minimum workouts, minimum deep work, minimum relationship time, minimum recovery. When you hit the baseline, you are allowed to stop, not because you're lazy, but because you're training your nervous system to experience completion. People burn out because they never finish. They just pause. This is a powerful step right here. Step number 4, install recovery as part of the upgrade. If your growth plan includes no recovery, it's not growth, it's extraction. The action that you can take here, add one recovery anchor daily. 20-minute walk without input, early bedtime twice a week, a phone-free hour, training that regulates instead of punishes. You choose what works for you. Recovery is not what you do after life, it's what makes life possible, tribe. Step number 5, build an identity-based upgrade, not a habit-based prison. Habits are tools, identity is the engine. The action that you take here, choose one identity statement that feels grounded. I am someone who grows with steadiness, not pressure. I build progress without punishing myself. I train consistency, not perfection. Then ask daily, what does this identity do today? Not what do I feel like doing? Not how can I optimize everything? One small action that proves the identity. That's how growth becomes human again. And that's 5 steps that are powerful, really powerful if you use them and you implement them. And what's the deeper meaning? Why this changes everything? A lot of people think the opposite of self-pressure is letting yourself go. And it's not, tribe. The opposite of self-pressure is self-respect. And self-respect produces better outcomes because it's sustainable, it's calm, it's grounded. It doesn't require you to hate who you are to become who you want to be. If your growth process makes you feel like you're never enough, it will never deliver peace because the process itself is the problem. The most powerful form of development isn't upgrading your habits, it's upgrading how you relate to yourself. This is a powerful one right here. Let me tell you about some stories that played out in my coaching engagements or at gym. The gym routine that became a punishment. A guy I met at a gym once told me, if I miss a workout, I feel guilty the whole day. He wasn't training his body anymore. He was training self-punishment. He thought discipline meant self-attack. So every session had to be intense. Every miss had to be compensated and rest felt like failure. The result? He was fit but anxious, lean but constantly irritated. His body improved but his life shrank. That's the upgrade trap. The body looks better while the nervous system deteriorates. And we have a chat and we fixed it and we sorted it out and he found a good balance. Let me tell you about the entrepreneur who couldn't stop fixing himself. A friend running a small business kept consuming course after course, productivity systems, leadership frameworks, morning routines. He was addicted to learning, but he wasn't moving. Every time he tried to implement, he'd restart from scratch, convinced he hadn't done it right. He wasn't improving, he was hiding, using optimization as a socially acceptable excuse to avoid real risk. And I pushed him over the edge. I said, okay, no more excuses. By end of this week, you launch. One product, one idea, one action doesn't matter. You launch and you go and you put that foot down. You step into that new identity. Let me tell you the story about a client coaching example. One of my clients last year, a senior manager, came into sessions frustrated with himself. He was successful on paper, but constantly felt behind. His language was full of pressure. I should be doing more. I'm failing at consistency. I'm not disciplined enough. When we audited his life, the real issue wasn't a lack of discipline. It was lack of completion. He had 12 priorities, 0 recovery, and a silent belief that rest had to be earned through suffering. We rebuilt his model together. One primary goal per session, a good enough baseline, and daily recovery anchors. Within weeks, his productivity improved without the internal aggression. He started finishing days with a sense of closure instead of guilt. And he told me something that stuck. It's the first time my growth feels like self-respect instead of self-judgment. That's when progress becomes powerful, when it stops costing you a peace. Let me give you 3 advanced strategies for some extra depth. The pressure audit. Ask weekly, where am I trying to improve out of fear rather than meaning? And then the subtraction upgrade. Every month, remove one habit, commitment, or input that adds pressure without payoff. And it's hard to find, but dig deep and you will. The completion ritual. End your day with one sentence. Today was enough because, and then you fill in the blank. This trains the nervous system to experience safety, not perpetual striving. And that's it, guys. Powerful and quick. Let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. This week, run the self-upgrade trap reset. Number 1, identify one goal you're pursuing from self-pressure. Number 2, reduce your plan to one focus and one supporting habit. Number 3, define a good enough baseline for the week. And then number 4, add one recovery anchor daily. Number 5, end each day with a completion sentence. And by Sunday, you should feel something rare. Progress without punishment. Try it out. Thank me later. Please give me feedback so I can know that it worked for you. And if this episode described your internal world, share it. Someone you care about is quietly living under self-pressure and calling it ambition. And then subscribe, leave a review, and join me again next Monday for another 15-minute Monday. And most importantly, copy the episode link, share it on WhatsApp Messenger with 3 people, Facebook Messenger, TikTok, wherever you communicate, and help me to grow the tribe. And also, I've been recently asked that some people listen and then sometimes it becomes like a couple of points and they can't remember and then they forget to go back. So I offered, if you drop me a message, I can send you the transcript of the episode and then you have the 5-step framework and you can go over it and you can use it later. So reach out in the podcast. You can leave a message, send me a message on social media, connect to me. I want to connect to you people. Many have reached out and I have built some great relationships from this podcast. You can do it too. Reach out to me. And let's not forget our sponsor, Doc Marty Mushrooms. Sustainable growth requires a regulated nervous system. Doc Marty's mushroom blends support calm focus, resilience, and mental clarity. The foundation for progress that doesn't cost your peace. So visit docmarty.com. Listeners of the 15-Minute Monday and the Success Blueprint receive an exclusive 20% discount on their first purchase. And your code for this discount is DAN20, DAN20. Don't miss out. His products are amazing. Head over to docmarty.com. Leave some love. Follow him on social media. Really, really great guy. And I leave you in closing for the week with one thing. Growth Tribe should feel like becoming more yourself, not like proving you're worthy. If your self-improvement makes you harsher, it's not improvement. And if your ambition makes you numb, it's not ambition. If your discipline kills your joy, it's not discipline. You don't have to hate who you are to build who you want to be. Upgrade with respect, grow with steadiness, and let your progress finally feel like peace. That's it, tribe. I hope I see you next week. Don't forget the Executive 5 on Thursday mornings from 3 o'clock, online. Check it out. If you're a leader, entrepreneur, you want to climb up to the C-suite, have a bit of an elevated thinking, those quick 3 to 5 minute episodes are powerful. So I hope to see you there. And that was it. Your host, Daniel Craig Johnson, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe.